On my first day at work, the store manager made things difficult for me. He pointed straight at my nose and scolded, "You're the most useless intern I've ever seen. Lick this toilet clean for me." My colleagues all stood by, waiting to see me become a laughingstock. I immediately made a phone call and summoned the cleaning crew from a B-star Michelin hotel. Dismantle and reinstall this entire store. The toilet must be polished with diamonds. I want that manager to host a party in there. The manager, stunned, pointed at me and screamed, "You're fired." I laughed. Manager whined, "Perhaps you don't know yet, but my father bought the parent company of this store 5 minutes ago. Now, who's the one getting fired?" "Dad, I told you, I don't need any company. I just want to experience the life of an ordinary person." I hung up the phone and let out a sigh of relief. Looking at the corner coffee shop in front of me, my heart was full of longing for the future. From today, Lou Fan will be a completely ordinary coffee shop employee. My old man insisted that I had been detached from the masses for too long, and if I didn't experience the hardships of the world, I would soon become a purely useless person. To prove myself, I secretly submitted my application and found this coffee shop just 20 kilometers from my house. To appear ordinary, I specifically didn't have the driver drop me off, sand a public bicycle, and pedaled hunched over for an hour and a half. I even rummaged through my changing room to find the cheapest set of clothes. A white Prada shirt, many khaki pants, and I forgot the brand of these sneakers. Anyway, it's not more than 6 figures. I pushed open the door of the coffee shop. A fat middle-aged man was leaning against the counter, inappropriately touching a female employee. "Tully, your hands are getting smoother and smoother." "Oh, stop it, Manager Wang." The manager named Wang saw me and immediately straightened up. He looked me up and down, his eyes full of contempt. "You're the new intern, Lou Fan." "Yes, hello, manager." I put on a smile that I thought was very genuine. Manager Wang sneered, "Look at the way you're dressed. Picked up from some market stall, right? Does it even add up to 100 yuan? You reek of poverty." I was stunned. Is this outfit of mine that cheap? Maybe, after all, my dad said that things worth tens of thousands of yuan are like giving them away for free. It seems my disguise was a success, which made me even happier. "You have a sharp eye, manager." Manager Wang snorted, clearly not hearing the sincerity in my voice. "Don't flatter me. This is a respectable place, not for a punk like you to sneak into. Look at your scrawny arms and skinny legs, what can you even do?" He pointed to a mountain like pile of coffee bean sacks at the door. "Go carry all of that into the warehouse for me. You can't leave until you're finished." The female employee Chow Li chiggled beside him. "Manager, that's 50 kilograms. We usually have to use a small cart." Manager Wang glared at her. He wants to use a cart. He's lucky to even have a meal. He needs to be trained, otherwise, how will he stand firm in society? I looked at the sacks, which were like small mountains, and froze. The soil in my backyard has to be replaced with a mini excavator. Now he's asking me to carry them by hand. I tried to lift one bag. It didn't budge. Manager Wang stood by with his arms crossed, watching the show. "What's wrong? Out of strength already? You useless thing. You can't even do this little thing. What can you do?" I put the sack down and dusted off my hands. "Manager, I think professional matters should be left to professionals." Manager Wang burst out laughing. "Oh, you understand that? Then find me a professional. Let me tell you, if you don't finish moving this today, don't even think about getting a single penny of your salary." He nodded. "Yes, manager." I took out my phone and called the butler. "Hello, Uncle John. It's me, in at the corner coffee shop on 20th Street. "Yes. Can you call a construction team for me?" "That's right, bring a crane and a forklift. Move all the goods at the door into the warehouse. Be quick." I hung up the phone. The whole coffee shop was dead silent. Manager whined, and Xiaoli's mouths were open wide enough to fit an egg. Who did you just call?" Manager Wang stammered. "My butler," I replied, "matter. It's factly. Ihvat. A butler. Why don't you just say you have a castle?" Manager Wang also regained his composure and pointed at me, laughing loudly. Are you addicted to acting? A construction team, a crane. Who do you think you are? The son of a billionaire?" I thought for a moment. Something like that. "I think my dad is the richest billionaire in Asia this year." Manager Wang's laughter grew louder. "I think you're not poor, you're mentally ill." "Fine, we'll see when your crane arrives today. If you can call it, we'll write the character for King backward." Just as he finished speaking, rumble, 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 the ground began to shake slightly. A giant yellow crane slowly stopped in front of the coffee shop. The crane's arm reached so high it almost touched the building opposite. Immediately after, two heavy-duty forklifts also arrived. More than 10 workers in helmets and neat uniforms jumped out of the vehicles and ran in unison to stand in front of me. The foreman at the head took off his hat and bowed 90 degrees to me. "Young Master Lu, Construction Team 20 has arrived and is reporting for duty. Please give us your instructions." I pointed to the pile of sacks at the door. "Move those into the warehouse." "Yes, sir. We guarantee the task will be completed." The workers immediately took action. The forklift accurately pierced the sacks, and the crane lifted the higher ones. The whole process was as fast as lightning. In less than 3 minutes, the entrance was completely clear. The foreman ran back. "Young Master Lu, the task is complete. Do you have any other instructions?" I waved my hand. "That's all. You can go." "Yes, sir." The construction team came and went quickly, leaving only tire tracks and a thin layer of dust. The entire coffee shop was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. I turned to look at Manager Wang. The cigarette in his hand had fallen to the ground, and he stood frozen in place, his expression uglier than if he had eaten something foul. I walked over and patted his shoulder. "Manager, see. Professional, right? By the way, what did you say your last name was again?" Manager Wang's face turned green and then white. He opened his mouth but couldn't utter a word. The female employee, Xiao Li, covered her mouth with her hands, her eyes wide with fear, afraid she would scream. A few scattered customers in the shop also stretched their necks to look in this direction. "What's going on? Are they filming a movie? That's too big of a production. Who is that young man? He can summon a construction team with a single phone call." I ignored the surrounding chatter and just looked at Manager Wang very sincerely. "Manager, you still haven't answered my question. What is your last name?" Manager Wang's body trembled, and he suddenly came to his senses. He slapped my hand away and forced a smile that was uglier than crying. "Haha, Lu Fan, right? So young and you like to show off. So what if you know a few friends who drive construction vehicles? It's no big deal. Young people these days just like to do these flashy things." He cleared his throat, trying to save some face. "The goods have been moved, but you cheated. As an employee, you have to be practical. Do you understand? I won't acknowledge your actions." He thought that by saying this, he could regain some dignity, but I found it very reasonable. My dad also said that one must be practical. It seems Manager Wang is teaching me. I immediately stood up straight with a serious expression. "You are right, manager. I was wrong. I shouldn't have cheated. I should have moved it myself." Manager Wang was stunned, not expecting me to be so cooperative. He snorted and took the opportunity to back down. "It's good that you know you were wrong. Since you're new, I'll let it go this time. If you dare to pull a stunt like that again, you can get out." After speaking, he felt his aura return and puffed out his chest. He pointed to the toilet in the most hidden corner of the shop. "You can do the heavy lifting, so go do what you should be doing. Go scrub that toilet for me. Remember, it has to be so shiny that I can see my handsome reflection in it." Xiao Li, who was sitting nearby, snickered. "Manager, the toilet in our shop got clogged last week and hasn't been fixed yet. It's both dirty and smelly." Manager Wang glared at her. "That's how you train a new employee's willpower. Lu Fan, did you hear me? Get going." I nodded. "Yes, manager. I guarantee you'll see your handsome reflection." I felt that Manager Wang was a good person. Knowing that I had never experienced hardship, he specially arranged such a difficult task for me. I walked into the bathroom, and an indescribable smell hit me in the face, almost making me ascend to heaven. The floor was covered in sewage, the toilet bowl was full of yellow and white waste, and the walls were stained with unknown substances. This is worse than where my dog lives." My dad was right, I really have been detached from the masses for too long. I held back my disgust and backed out. Manager Wang was standing with his arms crossed, looking at me with a gloating expression. "What's wrong? Can't stand it. It's not too late to beg me now. Get on your knees and call me good big brother 4 times, and I'll let you wipe the tables." I shook my head. "Manager, you've misunderstood. I was just thinking that a craftsman must first sharpen his tools to do a good job. A toilet history, using our shop's shabby brush, will definitely not meet your requirements. I need more professional tools." Manager Wang scoffed. "What more professional tools do you want? Should I give you a golden brush?" My eyes lit up. "Manager, you're a genius. Gold is softer, and the polishing effect would indeed be very good." His face contorted. probably thinking I was joking with him. Less nonsense. Get to work. It'll give you 10 more minutes. If it's not clean, don't even think about eating today. As sight, it seems the manager still doesn't believe in my professional judgment. There was no other way. I took out my phone and called the butler again. Hello, Uncle John. It's me. Immediately contact the director of the Ron Hotel's guest services department and have him send their most advanced, deep cleaning team here. That's right, the team that served the Middle Eastern royal family. The address is the corner coffee shop on 20th Street. Tell them to clean the toilet here to the standard of a 7-star presidential suite. Oh, and when they polish it, tell them to use diamond powder. The budget? There is no budget. Let them do as they please. Just make sure my manager can clearly see every handsome nose hair on the toilet lid. I hung up, and I saw Manager Wang's face had turned from white to the color of a pig's liver. He pointed at me, his finger trembling. You're pulling that trick again. You think he'll believe you? Resin and diamond powder. Why don't you just say you're calling the Jade Emperor down to scrub your back? Less than 10 minutes later, a black Rolls-Royce Phantom silently stopped in front of the shop. The car door opened, and a middle-aged man in a fine tailcoat, white gloves, and neatly combed hair, with not a single strand out of place, led a dozen cleaning professionals, also in smart uniforms, into the shop. They were carrying all sorts of silver boxes that I didn't understand but felt were very high. And the middle-aged man walked up to me and bowed elegantly. Young Master Liu, the VIP service team of the Richcon Hotel sends you our warmest greetings. We have received instructions to provide you with the highest standard of cleaning service. I pointed to the stinking toilet. It's in there. Remember, be quick. My manager is in a hurry. As you wish, young master. The team immediately went in, their actions professional and without delay. The sound of all kinds of high-tech equipment echoing from the bathroom. Manager 1 was completely petrified. He stared blankly at the Rolls-Royce parked at the door with a license plate of 5/8, then at the cleaning professionals coming in and out, who were dressed 100 times more formally than he was. His worldview seemed to be collapsing piece by piece. 5 minutes later, the bathroom door opened, and a fresh breeze carrying the scent of high-end perfume wafted out. The man in the tailcoat from before came out, and bowed to me again. Young Master Liu, the toilet has been cleaned. The walls, floor, and all sanitary fixtures have undergone a 3-step cleaning process, 2-step disinfection, and diamond powder polishing treatment. The air filtration system had been turned on, and the fragrance is vulgaris white tea. Please inspect it. Before I could say anything, Manager Wang, as if in a trance, walked over step by step. He stuck his head in to look, and his whole body froze. I curiously followed him to take a look. Whoa! The entire toilet was sparkling. The floor was as clean as a mirror, and the white walls reflected the light. The previously clogged toilet was now so clean that I even felt I could use it to make coffee. Manager 1 tremblingly reached out and touched the toilet lid, then he pressed his face against it. His crazy, bearded face and every pimple on it were clearly reflected on the toilet lid. Oh my God. He let out a moan. You can really see the reflection. I walked over and patted his back. Are you satisfied, manager? You see, I told you. Professional matters should be left to professionals. Manager Wang suddenly turned his head and looked at me as if I were a monster. Who on earth are you? Manager 1 looked at me with eyes full of terror and confusion. He still maintained a harmless smile. Manager, and your intern, Lu Fan. Have you forgotten? His lips trembled, clearly not believing me. Intern? What intern can call a Rolls-Royce and a 7-star hotel cleaning crew? What exactly do you want? As psych. Manager, I really just want to experience life and learn work skills. You're the one who keeps insisting that I show off my connections and financial resources. He seemed to be choked up. I looked at him with a sincere expression. Manager, the toilet is clean now. What should I do next? Can I learn to make coffee now? Manager 1 looked at my harmless face, his expression changing unpredictably. He probably felt that I was in existence that he completely couldn't understand. He didn't dare to hit me, nor did he dare to scold me. He held it in for a long time and squeezed out a few words through his teeth. Fine, you go to the counter and have Xiao Li teach you. Right now, he just wanted me to stay away from him. I happily ran to the counter. Sister Xiao Li, I'm here to learn. Xiao Li's way of looking at me had also changed, carrying a bit of reverence and curiosity. She wasn't as foolish as Manager Wang. She had probably guessed that I wasn't an ordinary person. Lu Fan, don't call me sister. I don't dare to accept it. She gave a forced smile and began to teach me how to use the coffee machine. This is the switch. This is where you grind the beans. This is where you froth the milk. I listened very attentively. This machine looked much simpler than the control panel of my private jet. It probably wasn't difficult. Just then, a fashionably dressed woman with heavy makeup walked in. As soon as she entered, she frowned and pinched her nose. What kind of random shop is this? It smells of paint and cheap perfume. It stinks. Manager Wang immediately put on a fawning face and ran over. Oh, Miss Jiang, you're here. We just did a general clean, and the smell hasn't dissipated yet. Please bear with us. Miss Jiang sat down with a disgusted expression. All right, hurry up. The usual, a hand. Poured geisha. Remember, water temperature at 92 degrees. Grind size 3. 5. Bloom for 30 seconds. Pour the water steadily. And don't make it taste impure for me. Manager Wang nodded repeatedly. Yes, you can rest assured. He turned his head and winked at Xiao Lei. Xiao's face turned slightly pale. Business Chum was a regular customer of the shop and also the most difficult one. Every time she came, she would find fault. Usually, the best barista in the shop would serve her, but that barista had taken the day off today. Xiao Li was just a novice. How would she dare to take this job? Manager Wang saw that Xiao Li wasn't moving and lowered his voice to a growl. What are you standing there for? Go on, are you going to let her go? Miss Jiang's shrill voice rang out. Just her. The last function puffy, it was the tick where you dare to serve it to healthy burn to even her. Manager Wang was also at a loss. Just then, he saw me standing behind the counter, ready to give it a try. His eyes rolled, and a plan came to mind. He pointed at me and said to Miss Jiang, look, we have a new barista today. His skills are particularly good. How about we let him make a cup for you? He wanted to shift the blame to me and let me bear the brunt of her anger. Miss Jiang looked at me with a suspicious gaze. He's so young. Can he do it? Manager Wang patted his chest and assured her, definitely. He's our shop's secret weapon. Then he turned and ordered me, Lu Fan, did you hear that? Go and show Miss Jiang your skills. I was a little dazed. I had just learned how to turn on the machine. But I saw Manager Wang's encouraging and malicious gaze and remembered my father's words, you must bravely accept challenges. All right. It's just making coffee. I took a deep breath and walked over to the lady. Excuse me, what would you like to drink? Miss Jiang's eyes widened. Are you deaf? Geisha, may exactly as I just requested. I clumsily imitated Xiaoli's movements, fumbling to find the beans, grind them, and boil the water. As a result, I couldn't control the water temperature and boiled it straight to 100 degrees. The grind size was also wrong, and the coffee grounds were as coarse as sand. When I poured it into the filter, the water flowed right through without any blooming step. I flusteredly brought the freshly brewed coffee and placed it in front of Miss Jiang. Here is your geisha. Miss Jiang looked at the clear, bland coffee and then at me. Her face was as black as the bottom of a pot. She didn't say anything, just picked up the cup, took a small sip, and then spat it all out. It didn't miss, spraying right into Manager Wang's face. Bah. Miss Jiang coughed violently and pointed at me, so angry she couldn't speak. What the hell is this? Is this for people to drink? Are you trying to burn me or poison me? Manager Wang, his face covered in coffee grounds, was also furious. He pointed at my nose and cursed, Lu Fan, you useless thing. I told you to make coffee, and you made me a cup of boiling water. Are you doing this on purpose? I looked at the coffee pot in my hand. I grieve. I am making it for the first time. I don't have any experience. Shut up. Manager Wang roared. You dare to make excuses. He turned around and bowed obsequiously to Miss Jiang. Miss Jiang, please calm down. I'll make you another one right away. Miss Jiang slammed her hand on the table. Make it again. Your shop's coffee beans have a problem to begin with. They have a rotten smell. This isn't over. He'll complain about you and have you shut down. She took out her phone, about to make a call. Manager Wang was so scared his soul almost flew away, and he grabbed her hand tightly. Don't, Miss Jiang. Let's talk about this slowly. I looked at them and felt that the problem seemed very serious. It was all because I had made the coffee badly. No, I have to solve this problem. Miss Jiang said the coffee beans are the problem. Then changing the coffee beans should solve it, right? I went to the side and took out my phone again. In front of everyone, I called the butler. Hello, Uncle John, can you help me check which supplier provides the geisha coffee beans that this corner coffee shop is using? The other end of the line quickly had an answer. Young master, I've checked. It's a plantation called Jade Mountain in the Antioquia Department of Colombia. I nodded. Good. Now immediately contact the owner of that plantation and tell him that I've bought his plantation. Then inform him that from now on, all coffee beans produced at their plantation are only to be supplied to this shop. The quality must be the best. Remember, all of it, including the beans he saves for himself to drink. Money is not an issue. Let him name his price. I only have one request. Within half an hour, I must see the acquisition contract. Stop the payment. As I finished speaking, the entire coffee shop fell into a strange silence again. Miss John, who had been making a fuss, also stopped her actions. Manager Wang, who had been apologizing, had his mouth open in a no shape. Even the customers who were watching the commotion forgot to drink their coffee. Everyone's eyes were focused on the phone in my hand. It took a few seconds for Manager Wang to find his voice. He pointed at me, laughing so hard that tears almost came out. Ha ha ha, buying the whole coffee plantation. Lu Fan, did you forget to take your medicine before you came out today? Do you know how much a Topisha plantation is worth? It's in the billions of dollars. And you want the contract in half an hour. Who do you think you are? The governor of the World Bank. Miss John also crossed her arms and sneered. Is this person poor and crazy? Is addicted to acting? Manager Wang, what kind of nutcases do you hire in your shop? Get him out of here for me. I ignored them. I just quietly looked at the time on my phone. Uncle Tom's efficiency had never disappointed me. Manager Wang saw that I wasn't saying anything and thought I was guilty. He walked up to me with the air of a winner. What? No more bragging. Exposed, right? Let me tell you, Lu Fan, I've had enough of you. From the moment you walked in, you've been acting mysterious and playing tricks. First, you called some construction team, then some hotel cleaning crew. You think you can scare me by hiring a few extras. Let me tell you, when I was out in the world, you were still wearing split pants. He became more and more agitated as he spoke, his saliva almost spraying on my face. You're a useless fraud from beginning to end. Now I'm officially informing you. He pointed to the door and shouted each word. You are fired. Right now. Immediately. Pack your things and get out. He finished shouting and looked at me smugly, waiting for me to cry and beg on my knees. The people around also looked at me with eyes full of pity and ridicule. But I didn't. I just raised my head and glanced at him. Then I tilted my head, showing a confused expression. Pack my things. Oh, yes. Manager. I nodded and turned to walk towards the counter. Manager Wang was stunned. Where are you going? I replied as I walked. Didn't you tell me to pack my things and get out? I'm going to pack now. Then I picked up the coffee machine on the counter. This looks quite expensive. I'll take it. Then I walked towards the dessert refrigerator. This refrigerator is also good. I'll take it too. I pointed to the decorative paintings on the wall. Those paintings seem to be the original works of some unknown artist. I'll take them too. Every time I mentioned another item, Manager Wang's face darkened a little more. By the time I finished, his face was as black as charcoal. You're crazy. I told you to pack your things. Who allowed you to touch the shop's things? I became even more confused. Why things? But when I came, I didn't bring anything. I thought you meant to pack the shop's things. Manager Wang was so angry he was trembling, pointing at me. For a long time he couldn't say a complete sentence. Just then, my phone rang. It was Uncle Jom. I put it on speaker in front of everyone. Young master, Uncle Jom's respectful voice came from the phone. The acquisition contract for the Jade Mountain plantation in Colombia has been drafted and has passed legal review. The plantation owner, Mr. Ender, is very excited. He said he is willing to give the plantation to you for free, just to have the honor of meeting you. I have refused. The final transaction was completed for $500 million, and the money has been transferred. In half an hour, the other party will hold a press conference to announce this news. In addition, Mr. Ender has promised that from today, the highest grade green label geisha coffee beans produced at the plantation will be transported by air, exclusively for this corner coffee shop every day. The first batch of beans is expected to arrive in an hour. Uncle Jom's voice echoed clearly in the deathly quiet coffee shop. Manager Wang's expression froze. Miss Zhang's expression froze. Everyone's expression froze. $500 million, a press conference, exclusive air transport. These words combined were like heavy bombs exploding in their heads. Manager Wang tremblingly pointed at my phone. Acting, right? This must be a recording you hired someone to make, right? Just as he finished speaking, The TV hanging on the wall of the coffee shop, which had been playing a boring music video, suddenly cut to a breaking news report. A blonde, blue-eyed female anchor was reporting at a very fast pace. We have just received exclusive hot news. The famous J Mountain coffee plantation in Colombia has just been acquired by a mysterious Chinese billionaire for a sky-high price of $500 million. It is reported that this acquisition took less than 20 minutes, setting the fastest record in the history of global agricultural transactions. The plantation owner, Mr. Anger, is holding a press conference. He said the TV screen switched to a white-bearded old man excitedly waving at the camera. Yes, I have sold my plantation, sold it to a divine guest from China. I feel extremely honored that my coffee is appreciated by him. From today, Jade Mountain will only serve one place, and that is the corner coffee shop in China. The news report continued, but there was no sound in the coffee shop anymore. Manager Wang stared blankly at the tea and then blankly at me. His gaze went from disbelief to shock, and then to fear. Finally, his legs went soft, and with a thud, he collapsed to the floor. Manager Wang collapsed to the floor, his face pale and covered in sweat. He looked at me as if he had seen a ghost. You, he stammered for a long time, unable to say a second word. Miss Zhang, who had been so aggressive before, was also silent. She cowered in a corner, clutching the cup of dishwater she had scorned as if it were a precious gem. Her eyes were full of flattery and fear. I paid them no mind. I hung up the phone, walked over to Manager Wang, and squatted down. I still had that harmless expression on my face. Manager, are you all right? The floor is cold. You should get up. Manager Wang jumped in fright, scrambling backward on his hands and feet. Don't come over here. You, don't come over here. I felt a little hurt. Manager, what's wrong with you? Didn't you just say you wanted to fire me? And told me to pack my things and get out? I haven't finished packing my things yet. I pointed at the huge coffee machine. That machine looks heavy. I probably can't carry it by myself. How about you give me a hand? Manager Wang was about to cry. With a slap, he hit himself hard across the face. Young Master Lu, I was blind. And not a person. I'm an animal. I beg you, young master, be magnanimous and let me go like a fart. As he spoke, he kowtowed, his head hitting the floor with a thud. I was taken aback by his sudden action. Manager, what are you doing? My father said that a man's knees are made of gold. How can you kneel so casually? Get up quickly. I reached out to help him up, but he flinched as if he had been electrocuted. No, he won't get up. If young Master Lu doesn't forgive me, he'll kneel here until I die. Sight. What's wrong with this person? I just want to work properly. Why is it so difficult? Just then, the coffee shop door was pushed open again. A middle-aged man in a black suit, exuding a powerful aura, led a group of elites, also in neat suits, and walked in quickly. The man in the lead looked around, his eyes finally landing on me. He took a few quick steps towards me and bowed respectfully. Young Master Lu. I recognized him. He was the CEO of my family's food and beverage group, with the surname Lai. CEO Li, why are you here? I was a little surprised. CEO Li wiped the sweat from his forehead. Young Master, the chairman heard that you were experiencing life here and specially asked me to come and see, and to handle a small matter by the way. As he spoke, his eyes turned cold, and he looked at Manager Wang, who was still kneeling on the ground. Are you the one who dared to be disrespectful to our young Master Lu? When Manager Wang saw CEO Li, he trembled even more violently. Of course, he recognized this big boss who managed thousands of stores nationwide. CEO Li, I didn't know. I really didn't know he was young Master Lu. CEO Li snorted coldly. You didn't know. As a manager, you oppressed new employees and abused your power. I know all about these things. He took a tablet from the assistant behind him. According to the company's regulations, considering that your terrible behavior has seriously damaged the company's brand image, I declare that you are officially fired, and the company's legal department will immediately file a lawsuit against you to pursue relevant responsibilities. After hearing this, Manager Wang's eyes rolled back and he fainted on the spot. CEO Li didn't even glance at him, waved his hand, and immediately two bodyguards in black suits came up and dragged Manager Wang away like a dead dog. After dealing with Manager Wang, CEO Li put on a friendly smile and said to me, Young Master Lu, these small fries are not worth your attention. I've handled this store for you. He paused, his tone a little probing. The chairman said, if you are tired of playing, you can go back and inherit the family business at any time. How about I have the car take you back now? I immediately interrupted him. I'm not tired of playing yet. I looked at him with a serious expression. CEO Lee, my father told me to come and experience life, and I can't give up halfway. Although Manager Wine didn't treat me well just now, he taught me a lot. For example, to be a practical person, to work seriously and responsibly. Therefore, I have decided to continue working here. CEO Lee was stunned. Still working. But the manager has been fired. I patted his shoulder. It's all right. There's no manager. Isn't there still you? From today on, you are the acting manager of this store. You have to stay here and personally guide my work. You can only leave when I have learned how to make coffee. CEO Lee's face immediately fell. He was the CEO of a listed company, with a salary of tens of millions. Now he had to stay in this tiny coffee shop as an acting manager and personally teach the son of a billionaire how to make coffee. What was going on? He opened his mouth to say something, but I looked at him with an unquestionable gaze. What? Do you have any objections? CEO Lee was startled and immediately stood at attention. No, absolutely not. It is my greatest honor to serve young Master Lu. He forced a smile that was uglier than crying. Young Master Lu, no, manager, may I ask what we should do now? I nodded with satisfaction. Not a bad attitude. He'll think about it. Just now, Manager Wang said the coffee I made was dishwater, which shows that my skills still have a lot of room for improvement. So how about this, Manager Lai? I pointed to the 500 kilograms of premium geisha beans that had just been moved into the warehouse. You demonstrate for me first. Brew all those beans into coffee for me, and you'll stand by and learn carefully. CEO Lee looked at the pile of sacks that formed a small mountain, his eyes darkened, and he almost fainted as well. Following Manager Wang, CEO Lee, a prominent figure in the business world, was now wearing a pink apron and standing behind the counter. His forehead was dotted with small beads of sweat, and his expression was as solemn as if he were conducting an important business negotiation. He was making coffee, using the batch of high-end geisha beans that had just been airlifted, produced from a $500 million plantation. And I was sitting right next to him like a supervisor, watching intently. Manager Lee, your water flow is not stable. Look, it has flowed outside the filter paper. CEO Lee's hand trembled, and he almost threw the hand. Drip away. Yes, the young master is right. I will pay more attention next time. Your blooming time is also too long. The book I read said that if it's over 35 seconds, the bitterness of the coffee will be over. Extracted. CEO Lee's mouth twitched. The young master is well read and knowledgeable. I have taken note. Cowley and the other employees on the side were completely dumbfounded. They huddled in a corner, not daring to breathe loudly. Seeing their highest level big boss, a legendary figure who only appeared in the company's year-end summary videos, being bossed around by an intern like a wronged concubine. This world was too absurd. As for that Miss Zhang, she had disappeared at some point. I guess she won't dare to step into any coffee shop for the rest of her life. CEO Lee made coffee all afternoon. From hand drip to espresso, from lattes to cappuccinos. The number of coffee beans in the warehouse decreased at a rate visible to the naked eye. The entire coffee shop was filled with a coffee aroma so thick it was suffocating. This scent even drifted out onto the street, attracting countless passers-by to stop and gather around. Oh my God, what is this divine scent? It's so fragrant. Is it the corner coffee shop? Since when did they use such good coffee beans? Let's go in and try. So, more and more people poured into the shop. Shopkeeper, give me a cup of your most fragrant coffee. Yes, that's the smell. CEO Lee looked at the suddenly crowded coffee shop, a little flustered. He was a CEO, how would he know how to run a business? He looked at me for help. I rubbed my chin. It seems our coffee is very popular. This is a good thing. But I changed my tone, we're short on manpower now. Moreover, all these cups of coffee were painstakingly made by Manager Lee as learning materials for me. How can they be sold to others so casually? After hearing this, CEO Lee was almost moved to tears. The young master still cared about him the most. But my next sentence sent him straight from heaven to hell. Therefore, to ensure the quality of my studies and so that everyone doesn't have to go home empty-handed, I have decided. He stood up, cleared my throat, and loudly announced to all the customers, dear valued customers, to commemorate my first day at work, all coffee in our shop today is completely free. Moreover, refills are unlimited. Please help yourselves, don't be shy. The crowd immediately erupted. Is it really free? That's amazing. The shopkeeper is so generous. I want to drink 10 cups of geisha. The customers cheered and rushed towards the counter. Seola's face turned pale. Free. Unlimited refills. Using coffee beans from a $500 million plantation. He felt his heart bleeding. This wasn't selling coffee. This was clearly burning money. He tremblingly said to me, young master, please reconsider. This is not in line with business logic. I patted his shoulder and said in a sincere tone, Manager Lee, you need to have a broader vision. What is money? It's garbage. My father said that money that isn't spent is just a pile of waste paper. Our goal is not to make money, but to make customers happy, to let them experience the best coffee. That's what you call corporate culture. Do you understand? I understand, Seola. What the hell did he understand? He only knew that if he didn't stop this, the chairman would skin him alive. But did he dare to stop it? He didn't. So he could only watch helplessly as the customers, like a swarm of locusts, took a wake up after cup of the coffee he had made. He had to continue to bury his head in a frenzy of brewing, grinding beans, and frothing milk. He felt that he was not a CEO, but a coffee machine without emotions. That day, the corner coffee shop created a miracle. A miracle of losing tens of millions in a single day. The news quickly spread throughout the city. Everyone knew that a coffee shop had gone crazy and was using the world's most premium coffee beans to hold a free flow party. More and more people flocked to it, and the queue in front of the shop stretched for several kilometers. Even the mayor was alarmed and sent people to maintain order. And I, as the instigator of all this, was leisurely sitting in the counter, enjoying my 18 flat specially served by Seola. Today's lap art is a Peppa Pig. Manager Lai is really getting more and more childish. I looked at the prosperous scene in front of me with satisfaction. Manager Lee, you see, our business is so good. This is what I was talking about, the power of corporate culture. Seo Lee raised his head, revealing a face that had lost all will to live. His arms could no longer be lifted, and his back could no longer be straightened. Yes, young master, whatever you say is right. Just then, an unpleasant voice rang out. Get out of the way, all of you. A group of menacing-looking men in black suits pushed through the crowd and squeezed in. The leader was a bald man with a scar across his face. He kicked a nearby table hard and roared arrogantly, "Who's the owner here? Get your ass out here for me. I hear you're making a fortune, hell. Do you understand the rules? This street is under the protection of our Black Tiger gang. Hurry up and pay today's protection fee." The bald man with the scar's voice was loud and clear, carrying an air of arrogance. The originally noisy coffee shop immediately fell silent. The customers were too scared to say anything, and immediately retreated to the back. Seo Lee frowned and was about to step forward when I stopped him. Manager Lee, don't move. I stood up and slowly walked in front of the bald man. Are you looking for me? The bald man looked me up and down, his eyes filled with contempt. You're the owner. A brat who hasn't even grown all his hair yet. The blonde underling next to him laughed. Big brother, don't look at how small he is. I heard he's the one who's been throwing money around here today. The bald man's eyes lit up, revealing a set of yellow teeth. Oh, so rich. That's good then. He held out a hand and wiggled his 5 fingers in front of me. Not much, seeing as you're doing good business today, just this much. I asked, 50 yuan. The bald man's face darkened. 500,000 yuan, not a single cent less. Otherwise, they'll turn this shop of yours into a pile of ruins today. The gangsters behind him immediately raised the iron bars and machetes in their hands, coordinating with eerie hee laughter. The customers turned pale with fear, and a few timid ones were already planning to sneak out the back door. Seola's expression also darkened. He secretly took out his phone, preparing to call for backup. But I once again pressed his hand down and shook my head at him. Then I turned to look at the bald man and smiled brightly. 500,000 yuan. That's too little. The bald man was stunned. What? He suspected he had misheard. I took out a black card from my pocket and waved it in front of him. I mean, 500,000 yuan is too little, not enough. They'll give you 1 million yuan, how about that? The bald man and his underlings were all stunned. What kind of move was this? Someone was complaining that the protection fee was too little. The bald man swallowed hard and asked tentatively, Are you serious? Of course, I nodded. But I have one condition. What condition? I pointed to the long queue of customers, looking impatient. You see, my business here is too good, and I'm short on manpower. 1 million yuan to buy your entire Black Tiger gang. This afternoon, you'll come to my shop to work, clear tables, deliver coffee, maintain order, do everything. If you do well, it'll give you more money. How about it? The whole world fell silent again. The bald man and his underlings looked at each other, their legs trembling. The dignified Black Tiger gang, coming to a coffee shop to serve tibbles. This was an insult to their profession. The bald man's face flushed red, and just as he was about to get angry, I stuffed the black card into his hand. The password is 6 8s. Think carefully before you answer me. After all, 1 million yuan is definitely more than you guys rob in a whole year. Right? The bald man's breathing immediately became rapid. He squeezed the thin card, feeling as if he were holding a red-hot iron bar. 1 million yuan. He had been in the business for so long and had never even seen 1 million in cash. Honor. How much was honor worth? The underlings behind him also stared at him with wide eyes, their eyes full of longing. Big brother. The bald man struggled for a long time, and finally, he gritted his teeth and stamped his foot. He suddenly bowed deeply to me, his voice loud and clear. Hello, boss. The underlings behind him immediately followed suit, bowing in unison. Hello, boss. The scene was even nearer than when they were threatening people. I nodded with satisfaction. Very good, manager Lai. Find some prawns for them. Xiao Li was completely numb. He expressionlessly took out more than a dozen pink prawns with lace trim from the storage room. And so, a very strange scene appeared in the coffee shop. A group of tall, tattooed men were wearing cute pink prawns and weaving through the crowd. Hey brother, hello sir. Here is your light. This beautiful lady. Please be careful, it's hot. Don't push, cream up properly. Whoever pushes again, I'll chop cough. Whoever pushes again, I won't give you any more coffee. The bald man himself went into battle, holding a loudspeaker to maintain order at the door. To be honest, the effect was really not bad. The originally messy queue immediately became orderly. With the addition of this 1 billion yuan labor force, Xiaoli's pressure was greatly reduced. The coffee shop's operational efficiency reached an unprecedented peak. I looked at all this and felt extremely gratified. See, money is not omnipotent, but money can really do whatever you want. My father was right. Experiencing life is really too interesting. Just as I was filled with emotion, an even bigger trouble came to my door. Bang. With a loud noise, the main door of the coffee shop was kicked open from the outside. A young man in a white suit, with slick back hair, looking even more arrogant than me, walked in with 2 bodyguards and black sunglasses. He looked around, his eyes finally locking on me, and a cold smile played on his lips. Lu Fan, I have been looking for you for a long time. Hiding in this rundown shop. Is it fun? I looked at him and frowned. Jiao Rishan, how did you find me here? The newcomer was none other than my family's arch nemesis, the second generation heir of the Tao Corporation, Xiao Rishan. A guy just like me, incompetent but with an incredibly high opinion of himself. Jiao Rishan, as his name suggests, felt every day that he was so extraordinary he could turn the world upside down. He was the person I hated the most in the circle of the rich. No exceptions. Because he always wanted to compete with me, comparing who had more cars, who had a more expensive watch, who was dating a more beautiful girl. The result was that he was crushed by me every single time. But he refused to give up, like a buzzing fly that annoyed people. I didn't expect that I would run away here to experience life, and he would still be able to find me. Lu Fan, don't think I don't know. Jiao Rishan crossed his arms, his face saying, I've seen through it all. Your father kicked you out of the house and made you come to this place to fend for yourself, right? So pitiful, you've fallen to the level of a coffee shop waiter. This guy's train of thought was truly unusual. When Xiao Li heard this, he almost couldn't help but laugh out loud. The bald man with the scar and his group also looked at Jiao Rishan as if he were an idiot. Jiao Rishan was completely unaware of the strange atmosphere around him. He walked up to me and said in a patronizing tone, but for the sake of our acquaintance, as long as you kneel down and beg me now, call me good big brother 4 times, I will show great mercy and buy this rundown shop of yours, and let you be my errand boy who serves tea and water. I'll pay you a monthly salary of 3,000 yuan. How about that? That's enough for you to eat. Right? The 2 bodyguards behind him took a step forward in coordination, their aura menacing. Before I could even speak, the bald man with the scar beside me couldn't take it anymore. He ripped off the pink apron on his body, revealing his muscular and tattooed upper body. Who the hell are you? How dare you talk to our boss like that? Brothers, dead him for me. Cup him up. The brothers of the Black Tiger gang immediately grabbed their weapons and were about to charge forward. Stop. As shouted. The bald man with the scar immediately stopped and turned to look at me with a confused expression. Boss, I waved my hand at him. To deal with this kind of small fry, there's no need for knives and guns. It's too demeaning. I turned to look at Jiao Rishan and smiled. Jiao Rishan, you're feeling good about yourself again, aren't you? He said you want to buy my coffee shop. Jiao Rishan raised his head, a smug look on his face. That's right, and here today to buy you out, to show you who the real king is. Fine, I nodded, and the one who likes fair competition the most. Since you want to buy it, let's do it according to the rules. Whoever bids the highest wins. Jiao Rishan burst out laughing. Competing with me and money. Lu Fan, have you forgotten that you're just a penniless pauper now? What do you have to compete with me? He took out a check from his pocket, scribbled a string of numbers, and slapped it on the table. 1 million yuan. I'm offering 1 million yuan to buy the shop of yours. That's more than enough, right? He looked at me with the eyes of a winner. The surrounding customers gasped in amazement. 1 million yuan to buy such a small coffee shop was indeed a high price. Xiao Li stood on the side, the corners of his mouth twitching, trying to hold back his ladder until his face turned red. I looked at the check and shook my head. 1 million yuan. Jiao Rishan, are you giving alms to a beggar? I held up a finger. I'll offer 100 million. Jiao Rishan's smile froze on his face. What? 100 million? Are you crazy? Where are you going to get 100 million? I ignored him and said directly to Xiao Li next to me, Manager Li, show young Master Jiao our strength. Xiao Li tried to hold back his laughter, cleared his throat, and stepped forward. Young Master Jiao, hello. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Li Ming, the CEO of the Food and Beverage Business Department of the Lu Corporation, and also the acting manager of this corner coffee shop. When Jiao Rishan saw Xiao Li, his pupils contracted. He naturally recognized Li Ming, a famous big shot in the business world. So Xiao Li, why are you here? Xiao Li smiled lightly. Yes, I am here on the orders of our chairman to accompany the young master in experiencing Li. Oh, that's right, I forgot to tell you. This coffee shop, along with this commercial street and the entire city district this street belongs to, was fully acquired by our Lu Corporation yesterday as a small prop for our young master Lu to experience Li. Xiao Li's words were like a heavy hammer, striking Jiao Rishan's heart hard. His face immediately turned pale. No, impossible. This is impossible. I walked up to him and patted his cheek lightly. Jiao Rishan, do you still want to buy my shop now? Or do you want me to offer 200 million to buy your family's company and have you come here to serve tables for me? Jiao Rishan's body went limp, and he collapsed to the ground. He looked at me, his eyes full of despair. He had always thought that he and I were on the same level. Today he finally discovered that there was an insurmountable gap between us. The status and wealth he was proud of were nothing more than a joke in front of me. Just then, a voice that made him even more desperate rang out. Oh, isn't that little Tian? An old man in a tang suit, full of vigor, walked in, escorted by a group of people. When Jiao Rishan saw the newcomer, it was as if he had seen his savior, and he crawled and ran over. Tad, save me. The newcomer was the chairman of the Jiao Corporation, Jiao Rishan's father, Jiao Gang. When Zhou Gang saw his son's pathetic state, he was furious and kicked him. You useless thing, get up for me. Then he took a few quick steps towards me, his face full of a fawning smile. Young Master Lu, why are you here? This rebellious son of mine is ignorant and has offended you. I apologize. As he spoke, he double and shouting that he made everyone ask him to talk. Jiao Rishan's eyes widened even more. Dad, what are you doing? Why are you bowing to him? Slap. Zhao Gang slapped Jiao Rishan hard across the face. Shut up. He pointed at his son's nose, trembling with anger. You rebellious son, do you know who he is? Do you know what great trouble you have caused today? Jiao Gang turned his head and once again bowed obsequiously to me. Young Master Lu, please don't hold it against him. Our family is currently negotiating a 30 billion yuan energy project with your Lu Corporation, and your father, Chairman Lu, has already verbally agreed. You see, the meaning in his words was very clear. He hoped that I would give him face for the 30 billion yuan project and let his son off this once. I lagged. 30 billion yuan. Is that a lot? That's probably my pocket money for a month. Before I could say anything, my phone rang again. I took it out and saw it was my father calling. I answered the phone and put it on speaker. Hello, Dad. You brat, what trouble have you caused for me again? My father's powerful roar came from the other end of the line. I just heard that you bullied Zhao Gang's son. When Zhao Gang heard this, His eyes lit up. See, Chairman Liu is still a reasonable person. He glanced at me smugly, as if to say, "Brat, your father has come forward to back me up. Hurry up and let my son go." The result of my father's next sentence sent him straight from the clouds to the abyss. "You did a great job. That old man Tao Gang buzzes around me like a fly every day. It's so annoying. And his son is no good either. I've disliked him for a long time. Son, listen to me. Torture him to death for me. Don't be afraid to spend money. I've got your back. As for that 30 billion yuan project, cancel it. Tell Zhao Gang to get lost." Beep, beep, beep. The phone disconnected. The entire coffee shop was deathly silent. The smile on Zhao Gang's face completely froze. He stood there dumbfounded as if all his strength had been drained. A 30 billion yuan project was ruined just like that, just because his son had offended Liu Fan. With a thud, he knelt on the floor. This time, it wasn't towards me, but towards his useless son. He grabbed Zhao Rishan by the collar and slapped him again and again. Slap after slap. "You rebellious son. You are a rebellious son. The achievements of 3 generations of my family have all been destroyed by a beast like you. They'll beat you to death. Today I must beat you to death." Zhao Rishan was beaten until his face was bruised and swollen, crying and screaming. A ridiculous farce ended just like that. The father and son of the Tao family were dragged out by the men of the Black Tiger Gang like garbage. The shop finally returned to peace. I stretched and felt a little tired. Today, I had called a construction team, a cleaning crew, bought a plantation, recruited underlings, and dealt with a rich young master. Experiencing the life of an ordinary person is really not easy at all. I said to the exhausted CO Lee, who was about to collapse, "Manager Lee, that's all for today." In getting off work, CO Lee was as if he had been granted amnesty and almost knelt down to thank me. "Goodbye, young master." I walked out of the coffee shop, the sunset casting a golden glow on me. I looked at the bustling crowd on the street and suddenly felt a little empty. This life of crushing people with money, although very satisfying, seemed a little different from the so-called experiencing hardship that my father had talked about. Had I gone too far? Just as I was contemplating life, a row of black Rolls Royces silently stopped in front of me. The door of the middle car opened. My father, Liu Tiny, dressed in casual clothes, got out of the car. He looked at me with a mysterious smile on his face. "Son, did you have fun?" I felt a little guilty. "Dad, why are you here?" I seem to have spent a little too much money today." My father laughed loudly and walked over to pat my shoulder. "What is money? I have heard about everything you did today. And very happy." I was stunned. "Happy? I ruined your 30 billion yuan project, and you're still happy?" My father shook his head, his eyes shining with a light I didn't understand. "What's a project?" "Son, today you have proven to me that you are not a useless person. Although you haven't experienced the hardships of the poor, you have shown me something more precious in you. And that is a groundbreaking business mindset." A groundbreaking business mindset. I tilted my head, my face full of question marks. My father looked at me, his eyes getting brighter and brighter, as if he were looking at an unpolished gem. "That's right." He waved his hand excitedly. "Think about what you did today. To move a few bags of coffee, you called a crane directly. What is this? This is the maximum application of resource integration. To clean a toilet, you invited a 7-star hotel team to polish it with diamond powder. What is this? This is the ultimate pursuit of quality and detail. To resolve a customer's complaint, you bought the entire coffee plantation. What is this? This is the courage to solve problems from the root. To solve the labor shortage, you spent 1 million yuan to recruit the entire Black Tiger Gang. What is this? This is a model of unconventional human resource management. To deal with competition, you directly ruined your opponent's father's company. What is this? This is the ultimate truth of a dimension reduction attack." My father became more and more excited as he spoke, his face flushed. "Son, you are not a useless person at all. You are a genius, a once-in-a-century business genius. Everything you do breaks the rules and is full of imagination. This is what our Lu Corporation needs most in the future. Innovation, breakthroughs, and crazy disregard for costs." I was completely dumbfounded. I just wanted to slack off and show off a little. How did I become a business genius? My father didn't give me time to think. He grabbed my hand tightly, his expression serious. "Son, your internship is over. From tomorrow, you don't have to come to this rundown shop anymore." I was a little disappointed. "Wait, I haven't learned how to do lat art yet. My father laughed heartily. Lat art? What's the point of learning that? From tomorrow, you will officially take office as the CEO of all food and beverage and entertainment sectors of the Lu Corporation. I will give you a bigger stage to unleash your talents. I want you to go and change the entire industry. CEO. Me. I pointed at my nose. Dad, are you kidding me? I don't even know what KP is. KP, my father sneered contemptuously. That's for mediocre people. For you, you only have one KP, and that is to spend money. Spend as you please, spend crazily, spend money creatively, spend money with class, spend it in the style of our Lu family. I felt that my worldview had once again been refreshed by my father. The next day, I was sitting in the CEO's office, which was larger than a football field on the top floor of the Lu Corporation. Below me was the prosperity of the entire city. CEO Lee, now my chief assistant, was standing in front of me respectfully, reporting on CEO Lu, these are the documents of all our Michelin-starred restaurants. Please take a look. CEO Lu, this is the list of film companies we are preparing to invest in. Please approve it. CEO Lu, the newly acquired football team will have a match next month. Would you like to go to the scene to kick off the opening ball? My head was about to explode. Stop. I ordered CEO Lee, who was talking nonstop, to stop. Assistant Lee, tell me first, as a CEO, what is the first thing I should do? CEO Lee was stunned for a moment, and then carefully replied, generally speaking, it is to familiarize yourself with the company's business operations and financial reports. I shook my head. No, that's too complicated. I stood up and walked to the huge floor. The ceiling glass window. Looking at the bustling traffic below, I remembered my father's teachings. I remembered my not. Ordinary day at the corner coffee shop. I took a deep breath, turned around, and with an unquestionable tone, gave my first order after taking office as CEO. Announced to everyone, from today onwards, all restaurants under the Lu Corporation will offer completely free dining. All cinemas will offer completely free movie watching. All amusement parks will completely cancel their entrance fees. We are not here to make money, but to make the people happy. After hearing my words, CEO Lee's eyes rolled back. His legs went limp, and he fell backward. CEO Lee, what's wrong with you? Quick, call an ambulance. The office immediately fell into chaos. I looked at all this and nodded with satisfaction. It seems my groundbreaking business mindset has once again shocked my employees. Life as a CEO is indeed much more interesting than working at a coffee shop. I picked up the solid cold coffee cup on my desk and took a sip of the geisha that had just been brewed by an expert, and airlifted from Colombia. So fragrant. Thank you all for listening to the story at Bobo Drama. Remember to like and subscribe so we can meet again in the next stories.